What's up, guys? It's Kit Kat here with the BFA guide to Frost DK. Just going to do a quick guide here to try and help you guys get your DPS up a bit. We're going to start off with stat priority. So stat priority for Frost DK right now is Mastery over Crit, over Haste, over Verse. So what you want to do is try and stack up as much Mastery as you can get, because it just increases your Frost damage by a flat amount. And you want to get Crit where you can. Verse and Crit are pretty much on the same level, so a mix between the two isn't a bad thing. Next, we're going to go over the talents that you're going to need for single target Frost DPS. So in the first tier, you got Cold Heart. Cold Heart basically gives you a stacking buff. When it gets to 20 is when you ideally want to use your Chains of Ice. It's going to maximize your damage output on that talent. Next we have Runic Attunement, just your attacks generate 3 runic power. Asphyxiate, doesn't really matter. Frozen Pulse is my preferred talent here. Permafrost is good for a bit of survivability. You can either go with Gathering Storm, which I'll use more for Mythic Plus, or you can go with Frost Wyrm, which is pure single target for your opening burst to get it nice and high. The only talent you can choose in the tier 100 talent is Breath of Sindragosa, which is it's just the talent you have to have. Next thing we're going to go over is just trinkets. So you want to try and have one unused trinket for Frost. Currently the best one to have is your Drake Gladiator's Badge. And then you want to have a proc trinket, so Fathoms is pretty strong for melee DPS right now. Now we're going to go over the rotation. So when you're lining up to burst out for Frost DK, your opening rotation is going to start as such. If you have Hero on the pool, which you usually do with a lot of raid groups, you're going to open with Pre-Pot, and then you're going to go into your rotation, which is Howling Blast, and you're going to use your Obliterates until you get to about 70 to 80 runic power. Then you're going to unload your cooldowns, which is Pillar of Frost, Empowered Rune Weapon. Then you're going to go into your Breath, and you want to try and maintain your Breath here with Obliterates as much as possible. You also don't really want to overspend, because if you overspend then you'll run out of runes too quickly and you won't be able to hold your breath as long as possible. You want to use your Frozen Tempest also on cooldown while in Breath. Ideally you want to maintain your Breath about 20 to 25 seconds. Is usually about the best you can get. Then once you go out of breath, you're just going to spend your runes on Obliterates and fill with Howling Blast whenever you need to reapply your dot, or anytime it procs. You also want to keep using Frozen Tempest on cooldown. You want to save your runic, your Pillar of Frost when you have Chains of Ice with 20 stacks, and that's the only time you want to use your Cold Heart procs, other than when you're mid-breath or have Pillar of Frost running. So that's basically it on the guide front. Hope you guys enjoy, and I hope it does help you with your DPS a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, and have fun in BFA.